Houston's spring real estate market is officially here, and HAR's numbers just came out for April. I'm Gabrielle Strout with Compass Real Estate. I'm going to break down today what is happening in the real estate market. Whether you're a buyer looking to buy in this market or a seller wondering how to price their home, or if you just like keeping tabs on what's happening in the market, this video is for you. Let's start with a big picture from the Houston Association of Realtors April 2026 reports. 8,196 homes sold in April, and that is a 4.4% increase over April of last year. Total sales of all property types also went up 3.1%, with a total dollar volume of nearly $4 billion. So sales are up. That's the headline. Now let's talk prices. The single family home median price came in at $332,000, which is down just 1.6% from last year. The average price dropped 1.4% to $428,709. And price per square foot is also down slightly at $176 a square foot. But let's talk about what that means exactly. The market's softening just a little bit, but it's not crashing. This is not a market in distress, but we'll talk more about that in just a minute. The days on market also went up a little bit to 60 days, up from 55 days on market a year ago. And inventory also went up 6.5% year over year. Now we are at a 4.9 month of supply of homes on the market. Showings have picked up tremendously. Buyers are coming out in droves. Inquiries are up, and buyers are finally moving forward on properties that they may have been waiting on for a long time. But here's the thing. The buyers are also super picky. They know the market. They know when a home is overpriced, and they aren't willing to take any concessions on anything that's not perfect. That said, well-priced homes are still seeing multiple offers. I want that to sink in for a minute because I don't think a lot of buyers and sellers are actually seeing what is happening in the market. They're working on assumptions from headlines that they may be reading in the national news. If a home is priced well and it shows well, it is not sitting on the market, it's selling, and it may even have competition. Now, I'm also seeing a lot of buyers come in with really low offers, especially if the home didn't just fly off the market in the first week. And some sellers are flinching and maybe paying attention, and some aren't. They have a lot of equity in their home for the most part. Once a buyer realizes, though, that if it's a home they really like, it outperforms the others, they usually get over their lowball phase and come back up to reality, and we can finally get the deal done. But don't be fooled. This is totally happening in this market. Oh, one more thing. That days on market number that you're going to see in all of this HAR data, or in all the data actually, that 60 days isn't an indication of how long you can really drag your feet before you decide you want to make an offer. That number is an average of all the market, which includes overpriced homes, it includes ugly homes, it includes foreclosure homes, it includes everything on the market. So if there's something you like, don't drag your feet because there's a chance you may miss it. Let's talk about rates right now. So when this report was published, the average rates in April were 6.3%, which clearly doesn't change now that it's May. However, the rates are super volatile right now. So we saw a ton of activity in April, and May is, with the increased rates, they're starting to maybe think about it because their payment just got a little higher than it was a couple weeks ago. But we all know that rates are not going back down to the threes anytime soon. So most buyers are making adjustments and they're buying their rate down or asking for seller concessions if that's something they can get away with. Let's talk inventory. Right now, we are sitting at 4.9 months of inventory of single family homes in Houston. For context, a balanced market is usually between 4 and 6 months. So Houston is balanced. That's actually really notable because for the past few years, Houston has been in an inventory shortage. So now buyers have more choice and inventory is growing. And this is why sales are still growing. Let's talk about how Houston is comparing to the national market. This is actually one of my favorite topics because in this month's data, it directly addresses that. The national housing market is struggling. There's an inventory shortage, and sales were down 22.4% in April compared to 2019. And down 22% in the trailing 12 months, which are pretty big declines. But Houston, we are up 6.8% compared to April 2019, and up 7.6% for the past 12 months. So when you see a national headline that says that the housing market is slowing down and sales are slow, you need to ask yourself, is that a national story or is this a local story? Because likely it's probably national. Our market has its own fundamentals. We have great job growth. We have huge population growth. We have no state income tax, and we have an economy that doesn't just depend on one industry. We're also really affordable compared to other major cities in the US. So these fundamental things don't change just because mortgage interest rates are changing. Let's quickly run through what happened last month in the different price segments. The starter homes from 100 to 150,000 had a 26% increase in sales. We also saw increases in the 150 to 250 range, the 250 to 500 range, and $1 million and above also increased 2%. So the $500,000 to $1 million range did dip slightly, about 1.3%. So what does this tell us? The market is most active in the very affordable ranges. If you are a seller in the $500,000 to $1 million range, this is where pricing matters most. You don't have the volume of buyers the mid-range groups do, so your price position has to be on point. A quick note on townhomes and condos. If you've been watching my videos for the past few months, you'll know that we're definitely seeing an increase in time on market for townhomes and condos. The good news though, this month is that the median price just went up 7% from last year up to $230,000, which is like a great news if you are looking to sell a townhome. But inventory is also up 8.3 months supply, which is leaning into buyer's territory. So if you own a condo or a townhome and you're thinking of selling, we should talk sooner rather than later. So here's the bottom line for April 2026 in Houston. The market is healthy, sales are up, affordability is improving, inventory is balanced, giving buyers a lot of options, and Houston is outperforming the national market by a wide margin. For sellers, you have to price it well and present it well. The buyers are out there, but they have choices, and as you can see, they're very picky. The homes that are winning are the ones that are priced well and positioned well from day one. For buyers, now is your time. The prices are softening a little bit and you have more choice than you've ever had before. So take advantage of this time, but if you find one you like, don't drag your feet because chances are someone else also likes it. If you have questions about what this means for your specific situation, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or maybe just curious about your value for the future, let me know. I'm always happy to help you talk through it. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and click below and get notifications turned on so that you can be made aware of all the other videos I'm doing, such as video, home tours, and other market updates, neighborhood tours, etc. If there's something you want to see specifically, put it in the comments below, and I will see you next month. Bye.